Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys checking out today's video from a completely unfamiliar background here. I'm actually in a hotel in Chicago, Illinois, up here for the Bridgeford annual protein meeting, and got to do the videos when I get a chance to do them, so that's what we're doing from the hotel room here. Guys, today we're going to be talking about, actually I wanted to do this video based upon a conversation I was having with a fellow Bridgeford team member, Jim Moyna, on the way back from dinner tonight about is tournament fishing going to go away? Is tournament fishing as we know it, are its days numbered? Is it going to be going away? And I wanted to do this video based upon the conversation that Jim and I had. Now, if you guys don't know Jim Moyna, he's been a long time pro. He's been super successful on all different levels, won FLW tournaments, qualified for everything out there. He's one of the premier top tournament anglers in the country, and has been for many decades out there. So he's been around it. He's sort of like he's close to the same age I am, a couple of years younger, but he's been around and seen it all. And the thing that made me got thinking about it, and what Jim and I were talking about, why I don't think it's a stretch to say that tournament fishing on the tour levels we know its days may be numbered. And the reason I'm talking about this is we were reflecting back on a period of time from about 1998 to like 2006, where we both were fishing the Bassmaster Top 150s and the FLW Tour, and we were talking about how much money there was to be made in tournament fishing. Jim won a couple tournaments where he got $200,000 for first, $100,000 for second. We were talking about tournaments we fished that they paid, some FLW events where they paid $20,000 down to 20th place. And these tournaments, the entry fees on them were like $1,500 to $2,000 a piece. Yet we had these big, massive payouts back then. And now entry fees in most tournaments are close to $6,000 per tournament. The tournament payouts are a fraction of what they were back then. It's like not only are there more anglers competing, but there's a lot less money to be won in tournaments, and it costs a lot more to compete in the tournaments. Now, what we were talking about is how long is this sustainable? Because Jim was talking about he had been fishing the tackle warehouse tournaments for the last 3 or 4 years, but he decided not to fish them this past year because they were just a money pit. You had over $5,000 entry fees plus your expenses, and then they only paid I can't remember what he said. They paid maybe 40 or 50 places down to $10,000, and if you missed a check in 2 or 3 of the tournaments, you'd never even break even for the year, even if you did good. And we got talking about that, and it's like, how long can this be sustainable? It's like, if you have an angler like Jim Moyna that qualifies for championships and classics almost every year, and when he has what is considered a great season by qualifying for the championships, and then you still don't even break even, who can do this? It's like, what's going to happen to the sport of tournament fishing if the costs keep going up and the competition keeps going up and the payouts keep going down? It's like, the point we were trying to make, and what I was trying to realize, it's like, eventually I'm going to think we're going to reach a precipice where people are going to say, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it to go out here and spend $100,000, to win $50,000 year after year after year. And it's sort of a sobering realization a little bit, to come to that terms. And I never really thought about it as much. And I sort of thought that I was maybe one of the few people that thought about that until, I talked to Jim about it. And Jim decided to fish the Bassmaster Opens this year and a division of the Toyota Series tournament, simply because he thought in the long term it'd be more cost effective, and maybe the rewards of qualifying for the elites or whatever might outweigh that. But I'd just be curious to know your guys' opinion on that. What's the future of tournament fishing out there at the top level look like? It's like, I have no doubt that the glory days are past us in that sense, as far as when you had the big payouts and you had the lower entry fees. I don't see us ever getting back to that point, especially when people are willing to pay what they have now. So here's the point I'm trying to make. If you're a tournament organization and you see that there are hundreds and hundreds of anglers willing to pay $5,000 or $6,000 entry fee for a tournament, and have lots of expenses with that for a chance to win just a very small amount of money. If people are willing to do that now, why would you ever have to go back? What's the incentive of lowering entry fees and raising payouts if people are continuing to do this now? And that this does not seem like a very sustainable model to me out there. So I've got my theories on how this is going to work out as far as, the future of it a little bit. One of the things that I really enjoy, and one of the things that I have really come to realize how much fun I'm having is, like, now I've dialed it back. I'm not fishing the tour level and traveling all over the country and being away from home for 150 days a year. I'm fishing the regional events where most of the tournaments, they're like an hour to 2.5 hours from my house, so I can drive back and forth at night. I don't have to stay anywhere. You've got a lot lower entry fees, and you still have that that avenue to satisfy your competitive juices. And then if you do good, you still have some type of a payoff at the end of the year. So, if I qualify for the BFL Regional, you have a shot for the All-American. If you qualify for the Tote Series Championship, you get a fish for $200,000. What I'm saying is those weekend and those regional level events, in my opinion, are going to be the sustainable tournaments. I think those are the ones that are going to be around and be successful, because it allows somebody that has a job and works, they can continue to compete and have a chance at some legitimate money. But guys, I have serious doubts about the tour level. I really do. I think eventually we're going to run out of people that have that kind of discretionary income to be able to lay down $100,000 every single year and win $50,000 if they're lucky. That's a terrible business decision. It's like tour level bass fishing is like one of the worst business decisions that you can make on paper. So I'm curious to see how that's going to work out. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Just wanted to relay that conversation Jim and I are having tonight, and I'll get back in the tackle room probably on Wednesday. I'll start getting out some fishing tips again and some different type of hogging information and get out of these hotel rooms. So thanks for tuning in, guys. See y'all later.